Sir Bobby Charlton wasn't just a World Cup hero and Manchester United icon, he was also a devoted dad. In the early 1960s, as Charlton was scoring goals for club and country, he and his wife, Norma Ball, were scoring some family goals of their own. They welcomed two daughters, Suzanne, born 1962, and Andrea, born 1965. Despite their father's fame, the Charlton household was surprisingly normal and private. The girls grew up in rural Cheshire, away from the paparazzi, attending the local Loreto Grammar School in Altrincham just like any other kids. To them, Sir Bobby was simply Dad, a humble, soft-spoken man who happened to have a 1966 World Cup winners' medal tucked away at home. Number 2. Suzanne Charlton, born in 1962. The elder daughter inherited her dad's love of sports, but instead of chasing a football, she chased the weather. Yes, you heard that right. From a young age, she was both athletic and academic. She even reportedly played football herself in her youth, with one account claiming she represented England's women's team in the 1980s. Whether or not that's true, it's clear Suzanne had a competitive spirit and loved the game. But her true passion lay up in the clouds. She earned a degree in physics and meteorology at the University of Reading, determined to make a name for herself on her own terms. By 1985, armed with her meteorology degree, Suzanne Charlton joined the UK Met Office as a scientist. Soon after, she stepped in front of the green screen as a BBC weather forecaster, and suddenly Bobby Charlton's daughter was on TV more often than he was. Throughout the early 1990s, British viewers saw Suzanne delivering the forecast on shows like Breakfast News and Newsnight, charming audiences with her friendly demeanour. She was knowledgeable and down to earth, never one to trade on her famous last name. In fact, many who watched her calmly explain if it'd rain or shine had no idea she was the child of football royalty. During this time, Suzanne proved she could shine in her own career, far beyond her father's shadow. However, just as her career was soaring like a high-pressure system, Suzanne made a choice to put family first, a value she learned from her dad. In 1994, she married Nick Brown, a professional tennis coach. A few years later, she gave birth to a son, Robert, named after Grandad Bobby, of course. Suzanne took maternity leave in 1999 and ended up extending it to focus on raising her baby boy. For most of the 2000s, she stepped back from full-time TV work, becoming a full-time mum instead. "I wanted to be there for my child's first words and first steps," she said, in essence, through her actions. It was a decision Sir Bobby surely respected. After all, he had always taught that family matters most. Suzanne did return briefly to BBC Weather in 2006, balancing part-time broadcasts with school pickups. But by 2007, she left the BBC for good, quietly retiring from the limelight. Since then, she's lived a peaceful life in Hertfordshire, raising her family away from cameras. Now in her early 60s, Suzanne keeps busy with hobbies and community work. She's a fellow of the Royal Meteorological Society, and even competes in horse riding events, volunteering as an instructor with the Riding for the Disabled charity. And of course, she remains a keen sports fan. You might spot her in the stands at Old Trafford or Wimbledon, enjoying the games she loves. Number 1. Andrea Charlton. Born in 1965, has always been the quieter Charlton. As kids, she and Suzanne were inseparable, even attending the same girls' school. But unlike her sister, Andrea shied away from public life entirely. In fact, Andrea is so low profile that even the most dedicated Manchester United fans might struggle to pick her out of a lineup. She didn't pursue a flashy career in media or sports. Instead, she built a normal life, and that seems to be exactly how she wanted it. So, whatever happened to Andrea Charlton? By all accounts, she embraced a private, family-centered life. Andrea has been described as a private person, and not much is known about her personal life, and that's just how she likes it. After school, she kept a low profile. There's no public record of her career or any attempt to seek the limelight. At some point, Andrea married. Her husband's name is Andrew, though he's not a public figure either, and together they have children of their own. She became a devoted mother, raising Bobby Charlton's grandkids away from the media frenzy that often surrounds football families. A family man's final chapter. In Sir Bobby Charlton's later years, as he battled illness and stepped back from public life, his daughters remained by his side. They had always been a close-knit family, and that bond only grew stronger with time. When Bobby was knighted by the Queen in 1994, Suzanne and Andrea proudly watched their father become Sir Bobby, a moment of public glory, but also a family celebration. And when Manchester United renamed Old Trafford South Stand in his honour in 2016, you can bet his daughters and grandchildren were there, cheering and probably tearing up with pride. In October 2023, Sir Bobby Charlton passed away at age 86. The football world mourned, but amid the global tributes, it was the family's farewell that truly showed who Bobby was. At his funeral, after thousands of fans had lined the streets of Manchester in the rain, it was his grandson William, Andrea's son, who delivered a heartfelt tribute on behalf of the family. William spoke of his grandfather not as a sports legend, but as a creative, fantastic storyteller, the grandpa who told those famous jelly and custard bedtime tales and raced down hills on sledges with the kids. He thanked Bobby and Norma for showing him what devotion really is. In that moment, the world saw that Sir Bobby's greatest victory wasn't on the football pitch. It was in the loving family he built and nurtured. David Gill's eulogy at the service summed it up perfectly. At the heart of everything, Bobby was a family man. Family was the most important thing to him. He noted how proud Bobby was of his daughters Suzanne and Andrea, of the lives they led, the spouses they married, and the children they gave him, grandchildren Robert, William, and Emma. Those names, those people, were Sir Bobby's true joy in life. Suzanne and Andrea, through their quiet, steadfast presence, gave their dad the normal family life he craved despite his fame. They were his refuge from the public eye, especially in his final years living with dementia. In the end, the Charlton daughters ensured their father was surrounded by love, not headlines, as he said goodbye.